Hi there, Ashley Matthysse here, Director of Outreach with 10 Capital. I am joined today by the Yellow Jacket Venture Fund Associate Director, Sarah Jennings, and investor, Tom Weichel. Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley.
Yeah. So I understand that Beyond Angels Network and Yellow Jacket Fund provides early stage capital to strong entrepreneurial teams with developed products or services and early customer traction. Sarah, could you just tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Ashley, this fund is a sidecar to our angel network, which is the Beyond Angel Network, which is affiliated with Cedarville University and located in Southwest Ohio. Really quickly, just about our network, we have 30 angels that are located in 13 states and 2 countries. So some of our angels are alums of the university, and then we have some that have no previous relationship with the university prior to joining the network or the fund, like Tom. So we're happy to have both here and to adopt anyone who isn't a CU alum. But we're launching our first angel sidecar fund that we are calling Yellow Jacket Venture Fund 1. And this fund will augment the network, and it is a $5 million pooled dollar fund. Again, it's with the objective to invest in early stage companies, like you said, typically seed to Series A, that are led by a Christian founder, that have scalable growth, a clear exit strategy, and that are post-revenue. And so this fund is the first in a series of funds that's really designed to provide access to faith-aligned capital, and is the first of its kind, really, for this rapidly growing faith-driven marketplace that will provide both impact and market alpha to investors.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, Tom, we're here and interested in learning about why you invested in this fund, but if you could start off by just giving us a little bit of background as an investor.
So I started investing, obviously, early in my career years ago. I had some successes. I've had some learning experiences. Starting off early on years ago, reading Investors Business Daily and, trying to pick the right stock. So I've had a variety of, different things that I've invested in over the years. And some I stayed with way too long, and I learned my lesson the hard way there. You got to know when to sell. And then obviously I have other diverse investments that I've been involved with along the way, other than just publicly traded stocks as well.
Okay, so what do you normally invest in?
Well, I normally try to diversify the stock portfolio thing, but I've also invested in rental properties. I've had real estate. I own land now in Oklahoma. My family, I was raised in a farm and ranch community, so I actually own a small business, if you will, farming and ranching. So from rental properties to farm and ranch real estate to publicly traded companies. And so it's new for me to invest through an angel network.
So what made you decide to invest in this fund then?
Well, I'm actually very excited about it. I was exposed a few weeks back to the Faith-Driven Investor Conference and Faith-Driven Entrepreneur Conference, and I was just taken aback, actually, by the diversity of opportunity that's out there and the intrigue around being able to invest in people, actually, in these startup companies where you're really looking at who's running the business and what the opportunity is. And so I actually wound up finding out about Cedarville in a unique way. So after the Faith-Driven Investor Conference, I was having a conversation with a close friend of mine who happened to be a pastor. And I was talking about all these unique things that, the Christians were investing in. And then he began to tell me about this gentleman he knew. And that's where I met Dick Blank. And he brought us together. We had a conversation. Dick invited me to sit in as a guest, and that's how I got connected.
Wonderful. What do you like about the team?
Well, it's exciting, actually. The thoroughness, the attention to detail, the professionalism. I was taken aback, and it was refreshing to see the team, Sarah and the team, just have a passion about how they were going about it. The first session that I sat in on, I was really impressed And, I contacted Dick within, an hour, I think, after that session and said, hey, what does it take to become an actual member of the network? And I joined right away. And so then I've been participating since.
Great. Why do you think this fund will be successful?
I guess, building off of my previous comments, the professionalism, the thoroughness, the attention to detail, and the active participation of the members. The questions that were asked were really good questions, and the diligence that people were pursuing seemed spot on to me. And the diversity of people involved were asking the right, we were able to, I guess, get questions targeted in a multitude of directions that I think actually brings a nice balance to making sure that you're getting the right analysis done. And so it's really a little bit building off the same thing I just mentioned. I just was impressed with the passion of the team, and they seem to be doing it the right way.
What excites you most about this opportunity?
Well, the fund I'm very excited about because I think it's an opportunity to really invest and be able to participate in some of the higher multiple return opportunities without taking and shouldering all that risk yourself, and to be able to also then have a balanced approach. So I think that when you're investing in these kinds of things, there's obviously some nature of risk, high risk associated here. And I guess I'm excited about the fact that this is a way that we're going to be able to, I guess, do the right analysis, manage those risks, be wise about where we're taking those risks, and it allows an individual like me to not have to try to burden all of that decision on their own.
How are you helping the team?
So far, I am not really what I would say really helping the team, but I'm here. I've got a lot of experience in manufacturing for 30 plus years, and so I will, weigh in as needed and try to bring, my experience to bear where it makes sense. So I'm available as the team needs assistance.
That's great. And anything else that other investors should know about this opportunity?
I guess from my perspective, I would just say that now is a great time. It's early. I think that was what I was excited about, is when I left the Faith-Driven Investor and Entrepreneur Conference, I was like really excited, but then I really didn't know exactly how to get started. So, I don't believe in random chance. And so a conversation, I believe God provided this opportunity for me to have a conversation, and then Dick and I came together, and then when I looked at Cedarville and I read their mission, looked at and did my own, research around Cedarville and the connection, it just seemed like God was confirming that this is a great opportunity. Now, it may not be for everybody, but I do think now's the right time to really do the analysis. I think it's personally a great opportunity. I think everyone should look at it that way, and you can get started now at the beginning. And so I'm very excited about it, to be honest.
That's great. Thank you so much for that, Tom. And Sarah, if you could just update us on the fundraise.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had to touch on a question you asked Tom really quickly. Tom has been just so valuable already. He's one of our newer angels, and we're so thankful to have him on board. He has really strong industry experience, and so we're really excited about that. I'm excited to be able to have him weigh in on companies that we have come through our pipeline, and also just to have his support. So Tom, I say thank you really quickly before I jump into the updates. But Ashley, we're so excited. We have collected $2 million in signed soft interest of our $5 million cap. So that was just during our first 5 weeks of our fund launch. So we have a lot of traction and momentum, and that just continues to build. And we're on target to have our initial first close of the fund at the end of January. So we're really excited about that. We'll be hosting a fund launch webinar on December 4th for wealth managers, family offices, as well as other accredited investors. And part of the webinar will be more informational, and then we'll transition into a time of Q&A where investors can, ask any questions that they have, and we'll be able to answer those. So for those listening who are interested in attending the webinar and learning more about the fund, you can register online on our website, which is www.beyondangelnetwork.com. And then if you'd like to learn more about the fund, you can also just reach out to me directly via email at sgjennings@cedarville.edu, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well. So if you're an investor, I'd love to talk with you more about investing in the fund. And then if you're an entrepreneur, would love to talk with you about the opportunity to pitch to our investors.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. And we will link to the registration for the webinar as well. So Sarah Jennings with Beyond Angels and Tom Weichel, thank you both so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.